Hello, everyone. So today I have with me Vish Reddy. Vish is the founder of a company called Revyz, and they have built a wonderful app which I really want all of you to know about. And I will let Vish do the introduction. So Vish, do you want to maybe spend a couple of minutes talking about, first of all, who you are, what your company is all about, and definitely the app that you have built?
Great, awesome. Ravi, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. Really nice to talk to you on this very important topic of data protection.
Right.
Just to introduce myself, my background is in security. I've worked for many years in the security space
Mhm.
and more specifically in the data security space.
Okay.
One of the things which I noticed last year was that there were a lot of gaps in the Atlassian product. Atlassian products are wonderful, really good, but a lot of administrators don't understand or don't know that there are some responsibilities which they have. The
Mhm.
shared responsibility model, which Atlassian calls out, right?
Exactly.
Which is you need to be able to take a backup and protect your data. As you know, if
Mm.
you delete something within your Jira Confluence, they are gone immediately. In
Exactly.
fact, I ran into that problem. That is the
Yep.
reason why we went down this journey of building this.
Mm.
So when we noticed that there is this gap out here, I'd built a small prototype, went and showed it to the Atlassian team. They were very excited that this is much needed solution. They are in fact investor in my venture in Revyz. Atlassian
Okay.
is an investor,
Good to know.
helping, and they've helped us build this app or get it to where we are so far. So
Good to
now
know.
let me, maybe if you don't mind, I'll share my screen, walk you through what our app is,
Okay.
and quickly run you through what the key things are.
Sure. Sure.
Let me share my screen.
So have you built like some kind of a recycle bin for Jira?
Yes, so think of it a lot more complex than just recycle bin. Recycle bin, which is available, by the way, in Jira itself, but it is limited to certain things for a
Exactly.
short period of time.
Yeah.
This is if you want to go back a year, you'll have backups for a year.
Hmm.
If you go again, I'm sharing my marketplace page. As you can see, Revyz backup and restore app for
Okay.
Jira, for Jira software.
Hmm.
What it does, Ravi, at a very basic thing, as I mentioned, my primary goal was to help Atlassian administrators simplify their job.
Okay.
There are a lot of things they need to do. Backup is probably one of those things. And what we are trying to, what this app does is it just simplifies that whole process. Uh, Click of a button, you don't have to think about it. Every day there's a backup which is run. All your data is securely stored. That's essentially what we do. Automatic backups. No need to worry about, you know, if you want to recover the data back, you can go back to the console and get recover back specific things,
Okay.
right? See, this is our specialty. At least from what we have seen, nobody goes and destroys your entire Jira site,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Yep.
That rarely happens. It probably never happens, right? But what does happen for sure? People go delete tickets or issues. They go delete configuration elements like your workflows,
Hmm.
screens. They get
Hmm.
deleted for whatever reason.
Yep.
So you want to recover those specific things back. That's exactly what we do.
Okay.
You can go, you can go into a backup.
Hmm.
Let's say 3 months ago,
Yep.
and then you can pick that specific issue which you care about or that
Hmm.
attachment which you care about, and you can restore that information
So,
back.
so what you're saying is that let us say if I delete one of the epic today, and maybe after 2 days I realize, okay, that happened by mistake. Can I can I restore it somehow?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Okay.
can go back into 2 days ago. You can look at all the things which were there in your
Right.
snapshot. You can pick that specific epic
Hmm.
and you can put it back into your system.
All right. So I guess in a way you're recreating that epic with some reference to the old issue key so that I know, okay, epic 1, 2, 3, 4 was deleted. Now we have a new epic with a new key, I guess. But I'll be able to track it somehow.
Correct. So what you'll see is we are essentially, as you rightly mentioned, we are recreating that epic.
Okay. All
Which
right.
means at least with the current APIs which are available, that epic ID is not necessarily, you will never regain that deleted ID back, but you'll get a new ID. But if
Okay.
there are stories which are linked within that epic, we will link all of those back.
Okay,
If they
perfect.
exist, it just simplifies your job.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. And I can see that this particular app is available on cloud. So I guess this is because this app, I can see the listing is there on marketplace. So is it available for purchase?
Yes.
Okay.
So today this app is available. You can go and search for Revyz Backup and Restore. You will find the app. It is available for cloud. All the information which you would typically care about, pricing, all the information is readily available. You can see we have a couple of installs going. Some of our early customers, posted what they have experienced so far.
Good.
Maybe a couple of things I'd want to touch upon within the app itself, just so you can see, walking down the functionality.
Right.
I will skip why you need to back up. Obviously, that is very clear. It's a much needed functionality. Maybe just spend 1 minute in saying, this is something which Atlassian recommends. You need to do a backup. It's very critical. You're responsible for your data. Now, in terms of functionality, this is a set it and forget it type of an app. Meaning, you install it, the backup just keeps happening for you. You can go back to any particular day and you can recover your data back.
Yeah, that is definitely helpful. But I mean, because I also manage few Jira instances, and it is always a pain when you install an app and you have to spend maybe some time or some configurations. But as you're saying, if you install it and forget it, I would definitely appreciate.
Right. Yeah. So we want to make this really simple for the administrator, right? To me, what I experienced last year, it's a lot of work to go back up, store that data, manage that data. We just want to simplify that. That is our primary goal with this app.
Good. Okay.
Now, one of the things which we saw with with our early customer was there were users who were deleting attachments. They wanted to specifically recover back that attachment because that was very important for them.
Okay. Only the attachments, not the entire issue.
The issue was there.
Okay.
But they wanted that attachment back because that attachment is gone now.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely interesting.
Right. And so our app helps you get that attachment back very easily.
Okay. So let us say if you have a story with 5 documents and I delete 2 of them, so you can actually restore those 2 documents back to the same story.
Correct. Now, in the scenario which we're talking about, your story exists. Story is not been deleted.
Yeah.
But there were originally 5 attachments to that story. Now, for whatever reasons, somebody deleted something. There are only 2 attachments.
Okay.
So you can go back in time and get those attachments back.
All right. Yeah. That is definitely useful. I mean, I will love to try this myself.
Sure. Yes, that's these are some of the features which exist, right? It is very feature rich. If you want your comments back, sometimes people go delete out comments, and again, depending on the industry you're in some industries, those comments are very important.
Exactly.
And getting that piece of information back becomes very critical.
Right. Yeah. I mean, not only comments. In fact, when people are using Jira for any kind of activity, especially financial institutions, they do care about these changes, and they want an audit or some kinds of compliance that, if there was a comment or if there was some information on that particular issue or ticket or story or epic, we need a trail. And if you're saying that, you're able to restore it, I mean, if you delete something, let us say you delete a comment or you modify a field value, let us say, you of course can see it in the issue history as long as it is not deleted. But if you're able to also restore it, as you're saying, comment and attachment, I think that would be definitely useful.
Right. Now, you mentioned upon a very important thing, Ravi, which is the changes. Some of the logging is there today. If you make like if you deleted an attachment, it's logged. But if
Yep.
you delete that issue itself,
Yep.
then that entire log goes away.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Now, inspired by that, in our app, we have an audit log also,
Okay.
wherein anybody coming and making changes to the app, meaning if they made any changes to the backup settings, that is logged. It is an immutable log which is there. If you went and stopped the backups for whatever reason, it is being logged. All of that information. Again, we are taking inspiration from what is there in Jira. We don't want to, not have that information not be available. So
Okay.
there are features like this. These are all enterprise features, which is what we have built
Yep.
this for.
Yep. Good to know.
I think one of the other highlights which I want to call out is this is a native Atlassian. I mean, your user experience is very, for us, it is very critical. As I mentioned, this is a set it and forget it type of an app. You install it once, you don't have to worry about it too much. But some of the aspects, what you'll find is the UI is very similar to your Jira, like, right? The look and feel is like Jira. It is not like something else. This is a paid via Atlassian, meaning this is, I think most of your audience is probably familiar with that. But there are other apps in the marketplace which wherein you have to go do something else outside. You have to put in a token or something, API token. None of that. This is very seamless. Click of a button, app gets installed, and it is there for you to use whenever you want to come back to it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that is definitely useful, especially if everything can be managed from within Jira. That would be wonderful.
Right.
All right. So maybe do you want to now give us a glimpse of your app in action?
Sure thing. Absolutely. So let me go into the app itself.
Okay.
So here again, this app has been installed. It's been running for over a month in our demo tenant. Obviously, since the day we made it public, it's been going on. So what you see is, as soon as you come in, you can see what has been the status of the backups. You can see, obviously there are no failures. There are something called partially successful, then there are successful.
Okay.
And you'll also notice that on a daily basis, there are 2 backups which are occurring, but on some days there are more backups occurring. Now, what we also allow for, Ravi, is, there's a set it and forget it, as I mentioned. But if you want to come in and manually trigger a backup, you can go do that.
Okay.
So you can come into the backup section out here, demo. I mean, you can give a name of the backup so that you can remember. And you can either select issues to be backed up or configuration to be backed up. This also tells you all the different components which you are backing up today, and we are adding more components as time passes by.
So I think if let's say I'm doing something critical in Jira, like some specific configuration, maybe before that I want to trigger a backup just in case. So you are letting your admins do it manually. Is there a limit on maybe how many backups they can trigger manually?
No, you can trigger as many backups as you want. Once you come in, so in this case, just as you described, right, you're making some changes to your configuration. Let's say you're creating a new workflow. So you can come in and say, back this up. A job gets spun up. You can see there is a new job which is running. It is queued. It takes a few minutes. It's giving you the rough approximate time it's going to take for this backup to complete. You can go get a coffee. Hopefully by then, this is done, and then you can continue with your work.
Yeah, this looks interesting. I'll definitely take a look at what configurations it can back up. And just a small question: when you're backing up workflows, are you backing up each and everything, or I mean, for example, if I'm using a workflow which is workflow condition, which is probably coming from another app, are you also covering it, or maybe only specific items?
what we are doing from a workflow perspective is, if there are any third-party apps involved, if we don't have their APIs to pull that
Okay.
specific data.
Yeah.
We are pulling whatever the data which the Jira APIs give you with regards to workflows, your transition, your statuses, all
Right.
those pieces of
Right.
information are coming in.
Okay. Okay.
If
Makes
there is
sense.
something externally hosted, that unfortunately, we are
Of
not able to
course. Okay.
get that information.
Good.
So here you can see it's running. It'll take
Hmm.
less than 10 minutes or
Okay.
12 minutes for it to complete.
Right.
Restore. Oh, one thing maybe which might be very useful, even from your perspective. This is telling you all the different things or assets which are there in your Jira tenant.
Hmm.
It's telling you how many projects you have, how many issues, how many workflows, since you're talking about it, how many workflow schemes are there.
Yeah.
So this is for the cloud. Obviously, this information was there in Jira Server,
Hmm.
but in cloud, this is not summarized in one place.
Yeah. It's like your own system info page.
Right. It's like a system info page, correct. And then, of course, we have hyperlinked all of these things. If you want to go to your workflows, you just click on it, and it takes you to that particular section within your console.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely useful.
Now, maybe let me just give you a quick tour of Restore. So here, again, it's very similar in layout. Obviously, number of restores are on demand.
Right.
So you can come in out here. Again, very similar structure. There's a job structure. It tells you, when you've done your restore, how long it took, all the information. Now, if I go into restore, since we were talking about workflows, let me go pick a workflow just as an example, right? I can go back and I can pick a date from when you want that workflow to be restored. Let me pick, maybe let's go back to Thursday. You go in out here, you pick your workflow, and then here you can come in and it lists out all the different workflows which were there in the system on that day.
Yeah.
And you can then pick the specific one which you want. Now that two things, or maybe you want to download, you want to restore back two of them. What you can do is you can hit on restore. It'll take it. It'll create a copy. It won't overwrite your existing workflow.
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
It'll put a timestamp. It'll append the name will have a timestamp so that this is what you did.
Okay.
Or you can also download this if you for whatever reason, if you want a JSON or a CSV, you want to compare things like how many statuses exist again.
Yeah, this can be useful. I mean, usually I want to know. I mean, sometimes when I'm doing some troubleshooting, I want to know. Okay, this is my current workflow, and that was my workflow maybe 2 months ago. What changed? So I can do a dump of JSON and I can do a diff.
Hold your thought on there on the diff part of it. This is on our roadmap.
Okay.
You don't have to download and compare. We will give you the comparison, a JSON comparison right on the UI itself.
Okay. Yeah, that would be useful.
Coming.
Good to know.
Again, our goal is to make your life a little bit more simpler.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind doing diff, but sometimes if I'm working on a client's computer, they don't have diff installed. So I'm again stuck. I have to open probably Notepad++ or some editor and then of course do it manually. But yeah, this would be definitely useful.
Right. We also started building out some, I guess let me call this as new trial features. We're calling this the attachment manager. So this is where you can go in and you can say, okay, I want to see all the different attachments which are there in my entire site. You can come in, you can see a listing of all the attachments. You can see where they're being attached to. So the example which I was giving you earlier, if you want to restore back a specific attachment backend which was deleted, you can come in and you can say, okay, TIS 151, I want, let's say I want this to go back. you can, again, single click, you can put it back into your tenant.
The same issue.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it'll go back to the same issue. That's correct.
Yeah, definitely. This looks interesting. Can you now, I mean, one thing which I wanted to say is if you can go to a specific job, or maybe when you restore, I want to see how one specific issue is restored. Because I'm keen to see this.
Sure thing. So let me take you to the advanced the workflow. You come in and pick your use case.
Yeah.
So here clearly we're saying create issue as a new issue. So you come in out here, you pick the specific date. So let's go back to Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll pick a project. I'll pick teams in space. Again, see, there are, if you think about your Jira tenant, you'll have on any given snapshot will have, let's say, hundreds of thousands of issues, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to help you narrow down so that
Makes
you can
sense.
be very surgical.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I come in out here, pick. I'm picking all the issues which say improvement or they're of type improvement in teams in space. So I can come in. Let's say we want to take TIS 65. Right? So I select TIS 65. And then I hit on, I can download it again, same thing. And then I can, or I can hit restore.
All right.
I can, now this creates a job, which is what you are looking for. It tells you it's queued again. This is approximate time. This is usually it is a couple of seconds. Because we don't know the amount of volume of data which has to go back. Let's say you had a lot of attachments. So again, we are giving the upper limit. It's always good to get things done. You set an expectation and get it done under that. That's the point out here.
Okay.
It'll run. So if you click on the job ID, right, on the left side, it gives you more information. For example, it tells you, look, the original ticket ID was 150. It's been put as 166.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted to see. I mean, how it will look like once I restore it. Yeah, this is definitely one useful thing that, I mean, this particular page, this particular job details page. And what I was interested to know is when I restore something, there is no way I can do a damage to existing issues or existing configurations because it is always going to create a new one unless you're restoring attachments.
Correct.
Perfect.
Now we are going to be rolling out the update use case. That means if you have an existing, let's say, 166 or 150 existed, right? You can go and update 150 itself. So that is where I think to your point, you're overwriting something, you're changing something. So that is where the damage could potentially happen. But in this scenario, this is creating something new.
Yep, this looks definitely good. So I think so far whatever you've shown me makes sense, and I can see myself using it. That is awesome. The point.
Now here you can see this particular issue which we just tried restoring 65 got restored as 167. So there's a link. You can go directly to the ticket itself from here. The ticket has been restored back with all the other pieces of information. Now, one other part which I'd want to just call out is when we restore back, we also attach the original JSON and CSV, both we put it back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, we do have it in our settings section where you can say, I don't want the original attachments. Don't, I mean, the formats. You can skip that out, but in this case, I will put these things back. The reason why we are putting these back, Ravi, is some of our customers, they said, look, the timestamps are really important. Since you can't put the original timestamps back, is there a way we can get a copy of those timestamps?
Okay.
So that's why these exist.
Makes sense. Yeah, useful. Good.
Again, very simple. There's a peace of mind solution which we have built out. It's set it and forget it. That's the whole idea out here. So the restore which we did, again, we just did it right now. It shows up in your screen again.
No, this looks wonderful, and I'm happy that there is now an app that can actually perform these things. Earlier, of course, as you mentioned in the beginning, it is the responsibility of the customers, especially Jira administrators, to make sure that they take backups. Of course, there is a way to take backup, but I think the features that you've built, where you can take, of course, a backup, but not really the entire project. Of course, you're taking the backup of everything, or basically some of the configurations, but you are giving your customers options to restore selectively maybe some of the issues. So definitely, this looks really useful.
Oh, I'm very glad that you think this is useful. Would love for you and your audience to try this out and give us
Sure,
feedback. We would love to improve it further. Our goal is to simplify your job, because it is a lot of things to do. This should be the last things you need to be worried about.
definitely. All right. Thank you, Vish, for your time. And I will, first of all, I will try it myself, and I will also recommend my audience to give this app a try. And on my channel, and usually in general, I try to keep an eye on the marketplace for new apps, and I try those apps just to see how those apps can solve different problems, and I can see your app solving a major problem. So thanks a lot for building this for us.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and looking forward to hearing back from you and your audience in the future.
All right, thank you, Vish. Bye bye.